Hello, today we're going to go over the Ops Control Portal, which would be used to manage O365 BAS GRAS subscriptions, as well as being able to see any and do any restores as it relates to O365. Whenever a partner first logs in to their portal, they'll be able to see everything within the dashboard. This will include any jobs that they have currently running, that be O365, disaster recovery, backup as a service, being able to see all of those jobs and how those jobs are doing. They can also then export any of the data as it relates to those jobs and actually be able to see if there are errors on the job, what are those errors, when did it run, when did it fail, and all the data that is related to the actual backup, and being able to see that in one holistic view. Afterwards, partners can then navigate to any of the subscriptions that need to do, whether it be O365 or otherwise. All they have to do is go to their subscription screen and then navigate between any of the two portals to be able to get to any of the subscriptions that they need to get to. If they need to get to their O365 subscription, then they can simply click on that subscription and it'll bring them directly into any of the things that they can execute against that subscription. So in the case of O365, you can see all of the jobs here, as well as being able to do any of the restores that you might need to do as a part of that. So we can also see the last ran status, if it's successful. If it's a warning, you'll have an exclamation point. If it's failed, you'll see an X, and then if it's running, you'll see this play button like you currently see here. You can see when it was last ran, when it is scheduled, if it's being periodically or daily, as well as being able to edit these jobs, add in and exclude users, and then being able to do that actual restore. Customers can also create jobs, as well as edit any of the existing jobs just by clicking on the job and then hitting include, exclude users, or be able to start, stop, or do any other things that relate directly to that job. Now, if they need to be able to do an actual restore, they'll click for either Exchange, OneDrive, or SharePoint. They'll just click on the specific thing they want to be able to do a restore for, wait for that restore to actually pull up. Whenever they go to do an Exchange restore, they'll first pull up the actual Exchange users and then select the date that they want to be able to do that restore. After they've selected that date, they'll hit Explore Backup to get more granular into what they need to be able to do that restore for. Once the mailboxes are pulled up, you'll be able to figure out which mailbox you need to do that restore for, and then go to the options to be able to see what you can do. You can either download as a PST file, restore it to its original location, or restore to a different location. If you select restore to a different location, it'll ask you to log into that O365 account to be able to send that to that organization. This is the same for SharePoint and OneDrive, the only difference being that on SharePoint you'll be able to get into the lists and the actual subsites, and then with with OneDrive, you'll be able to specifically get into any of the files on that per user basis. When it comes to creating a backup job for O365, they'll make their way over to this Create Job screen, or then they'll be able to add the name of that job, put any descriptions, select the repository, usually you'll have one on the account, and then being able to differentiate by all of the users. Whenever they want to create a backup job, they'll be able to enter the name, enter any description, select the repository if they want it to run now, or periodically being able to select that interval all the way up to 5 minutes if they want to have a backup window enabled, so having it specifically back up during different time periods, they can select that window, as well as on a per user basis, click on that user and specify what of that user they actually want to back up. Any of that can be then tracked in the reporting section, just looking at what users are backing up and how, as well as they want to add in the notifications to those jobs. The partner will have full access and control over that. If a partner wants to be able to add or change notifications whenever they get to that notification screen, they'll be able to select any on and off switches to be able to fully manage what their end customers see, as well as what they get on their side as well.